Welcome back everyone to a very late episode. We had a bit of problem with the memory card. We lost all of our footage. We've tried to get it back and it hasn't, I'm afraid. So you join us, I would say, a couple of months later. The Golf is looking a lot different. It's all in one colour. We won't get too close because it was a very rushed job on the front end, but it is all crayon grey now, not Nardo grey and white and crayon grey. It's all one colour. So what have you missed? Let's go through it.
So we got it all running. We got it painted, as I said. We did one whole track day, which was somewhat successful. Just trying to remember now, other than a traction control issue, which I still haven't really sorted. All I've been doing for the meantime is just unplugging the little module down here. Just been unplugging that completely, just killing all traction. So yeah, we have one good track day on the standard KO4 and the high mileage donor engine that we bought. We then
what did we do then? I bought another breaker for the other business, and decided to keep the engine and the KO4 anti-surge core turbo from it, which we put in. We did 4 laps and the turbo gave up, so that was less than ideal. Bought another turbo through Josh Gander, who did me a bit of a deal on it, which was fantastic, thanks to him. Fitted it. So we got the new turbo in from Josh, which, like I said, was very good of him. We then went on a summer action day at Castle Combe, just did a couple of little track sessions just to make sure it was all good before booking anything else, and it was great, so that was really good. I have since been spending, you might have just seen a minute ago, there's no seats or interior in the car, so we'll move round to that first and we'll
talk about what I've been doing. So one thing with this that I've never liked is how the roll cage used to come down. The main bar that used to come down here, I always wanted it to go in behind the dash bar really, but instead it was just in front down here. I've still got to cut these bits out, which went for the windscreen to be taken out. So we are having the whole front section remade, which should be really good. Slightly lower door bars, and door bars that come out a bit more so they're not sitting up against the seats. And this all stemmed from not only not liking the roll cage, but I also have never liked the Mark 5 dash that I had to cut up, because one of the bars used to run directly here, so it's always been a bit, it's fixed pretty well, but the glove box never really opened properly. As you may have seen previously, we got these little aluminium custom made up blanks to go in. Again, don't really like those. Having the new recovery truck and the Touareg that I drive daily, I also hate the clocks. It's like going back in time. So again, on the braking side of the business, we had a Mark 6 GTI in, which I've stolen the dash out of. These clocks, if you're not aware, a lot nicer, a lot more modern. So I've got a connector on the way because these use the 32 or 36 pin. I think these are the 32 and the Mark 5 is 36, but I've got an adapter coming to adapt that. And yeah, we can blank these off a lot nicer with sheets of carbon because they're a lot flatter than the Mark 5 that kind of wrangles over. Then we'll get this installed, we'll put it in, get the cage built around this so it doesn't have to be cut in any way, so it doesn't look terrible, and then we'll be sending it off to get it flocked. Anyway, I think that's everything that we've done on the interior. I might actually have it all painted as well, we'll see how it will feel. So, next things, let me go have a look at it earlier. I have bought an RPC inlet manifold. Mixed reviews on these about heat soak and not sealing properly. I've done a smoke test, it seems to be sealed absolutely fine. So we'll have to do a track day and keep an eye on intake temps, do some back-to-back login against the old plastic. Yeah, not a lot else has changed in here really. I can't remember, no, I don't think it had the front mount either, so the same car I took the engine out of also had a big front mount kit, so I stole that as well. Yeah, the braking business does really well, just supplying me parts. So the engine that we pulled out was fully rebuilt about 20,000 miles ago. It is actually quite a good engine. What's that done? Balance shaft delete, free wheels, all new piston rings, head gasket, basically all new gaskets throughout, ARP, cradle bolt, CDL cams, which is quite nice, probably one of the best cams you can get until you start going aftermarket. APR high pressure fuel pump and roller conversion. Makes a hell of a racket, but it works well, so that's good. And the other thing I bought, something I've been wanting for years after having them on the M3, is set the Pro 5000 AP 9660 calipers. This kit's from TSR. Guys down at TSR did me quite a nice little discount on these, so that's really good, thanks to them. Otherwise, that's sort of how it sits at the moment. So, like I said, plans now are to, we're waiting for the windscreen to be cut out. This is actually quite a new screen. Well, it was new about 3 years ago, but it hasn't really been out on the road since, or out on track. So I'll have the screen removed, cut the rest of these gussets out. I'm not sure if you can quite see these. There's just some gussets I've half cut through, so I don't really want to be using an angle grinder in here, putting sparks everywhere. So I cut all this with some recip saw and blades. So now I just need to get the grinder in and cut all these off flush. Otherwise, that's where we are with the Golf. We'll keep you updated as much as we can from now on. We also did put the wing on as well, I don't think I spoke about this previous. Temporary exhaust as well, that was just to get it out on track, just a bit of 3" out the back. So this is custom made by a guy that follows me on Instagram. It was Jarko. He did a real nice job, he actually made one for himself as well, so there's only 2 of these that actually exist. Yeah, pretty good, pretty supportive. So it's on a whole track day, 4 laps and 2 sessions, and it's been fine. I'm not sure if I've actually noticed any difference. It's been such a long time since I last showed the car that I can't comment on whether this has actually made any sort of difference with downforce. You may or may not remember, I do actually have a fiberglass boot from ABS to put on this at some point, which then means I've got to work out how I'm going to mount these plates to that boot lid. I have come up with an idea where I'm going to use the same sort of idea that's put on the Ligier that we look after, where these plates will actually be bolted directly to the sort of drain underneath, the roof drain, so to the chassis, so to speak. We'll have little cutouts that come up through for these arms to come up. So if you ever need to open up the boot, these would be on like a quick release system to take the wing off and get in, but for how often I ever get in the boot now, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yep, that's where we are right now. I'll try and keep up with picking up the GoPro and actually doing some recording. But that's how she sits at the moment. So here's what I've actually cut out already from the cage. So we got the roof bar, the 2 door bars. Sorry, it's a bit noisy. Yeah, I don't really like the design of these. I much prefer the design of Kian's, which I'll show you in a second on his Polo. And obviously the main bars. The one thing that was a bit worrying when I cut it out, obviously when we painted it, we couldn't ever get to the top. It's a bit awful. But if you take the roof off, you know, you're pretty stuck with how much paint you can get up there. So it's just one of those things you've got to live with. As I said, this is the type of door bar I prefer, like a double X. I might just go single to keep the weight down. When I've got a diagonal in the roof, not an X. Just single diagonals, absolutely fine. But That's how Dan, who's done his gauge, will be doing mine, so the dash kind of slots straight in with no real cutting other than for the main bar. So we're back for another day on the Golf. Lovely sunny Saturday, lovely drivers, my stuff, lovely. So I've just been working on this, been doing my actual day job on the weekend, which is good. I thought, whilst I've got a bit of time to spare before I go out, I'll just do a little bit of dash work. As I said previously, we're going to be putting a Mark 6 dash in the car. So I thought it would just be a good comparison to see how much this stripped out dash weighs. Obviously it hasn't got all its bits on there, like the clocks and the centrepiece. They used to run the glove box. I'm not going to be running the glove box in the Mark 6. I'm hoping I can actually just sort of keep this out of trim and then just put a carbon sheet there maybe. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, I thought it'd be a good thing to tinker with at the moment. So let's turn the scales on, let's see what we're working with on the Mark 5 dash. Probably not the best scales, I probably should find my hanging ones where I put them. This probably might not work. Let's try that. Yeah, I think more of it's actually on the floor, which is a bit of a shame. Hold that full. Hold that full. We can do this. Right, let's use this. So, 2 kilos exactly. I just remember I do this and I lose away. Oh, that's clever. There we go. Right. So, the Mark 5 dash comes in at 6.6-ish, sort of fluctuating a little bit there. So 6.6. So let's see how we end up on the Mark 6 instead. Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of support it, you're gonna have to take my word for it, but it's 11 kilos. Good lord, so we're a whole 4 kilos. No, we're not. 6, wasn't it? So we're 5 kilos heavier. Good God. So, first things first, what we'll try and do is we'll obviously pull the airbag out. Let's get rid of that. That's going to weigh a couple of kilos on its own. Now in the Golf previously, I never ran heaters. I'm still in 2 minds whether to run like a little race heater and potentially use some of this to channel it in the right places, but I think if I do anything it will just be zip tying a couple of 2-inch hoses that come with the motorsport heaters up to the windscreen, but I'm still in 2 minds whether to put a heated screen in the car or not. I think for now we'll just follow this sort of single skin it, which is what I did for the Mark 5 dash many years ago, so I'll try and pull all that off the best I can. Let's have a go at that. There we go, 1 airbag out. Cool. Little brackets, side supporting bracket things, part of the airbag. There we go, that was much quicker than using a ratchet. Don't know what I was thinking. Oh, well done. I think there's a bolt missing as well, potentially, if I dropped a bolt. I think I might have. Oh wow, that has definitely made a difference straight away. There's a missing bolt. And that's got a bit of a weight behind it. Then the only thing I probably should do is look at the Mark 5 dash. I'm sure, it was many years ago, but I'm sure if I just drilled the heads of these rivets ever so slightly, I can actually take this whole frame, like sort of receiving frame out. So I shall quickly move this dash, flip the Mark 5 one over, and we'll have a look at that as well, see if that's what I did. Look. Yes, I was quite right. I just drilled it ever so slightly. I think I probably multi-tooled. There we go, so I've now sort of run out of time and I've got to make a move. But we will continue this another evening after work. So I remembered how to do it. It's this noisy old annoying thing. So I've removed all of this. So we'll obviously remove this little piece here, all of that back piece, and then just get the belts under and just neaten these up a bit. Yeah, I'm still in the debate of losing this heater channel completely, even though it's got the mounting tabs for the dash. I've got a feeling it should, if I cut it down through there, that might stay. If not, it's not the end of the world, because it does mount on the lower points of the dash. It can't really go anywhere. So I'm hoping I can either just cut the heater tube there to keep that mounting point, and again there to keep that one, and lose all of this. Yeah, let's have a quick tally up and see where we're at now. Now we've taken out half the dash pieces there. So we were 7.7 before. Let's see where we're at now. That gives me a huge saving. Every little helps. So I reckon I can probably get this down to the same weight as the Mark 5 dash. There we go, 7.14. So half a kilo, just taking out a little bit of plastic. Took me about 10 minutes or so. So there's probably another kilo to go once I take that little bit there out. Take these little holding bits out. Yeah, I might try and cut down through there. Use as much of this airbag sort of piece here as much as I can. Yeah, we'll go from there. But that's it for today, and I will continue a bit more in the week. There we are, we're back again after Saturday. It's now Monday after work. I have finished, I would say, pretty much 100%, cutting everything out of this dash. So, I'm not sure if you can see how much I've cut. I could probably neaten some of this up, actually. But yeah, completely lost all this heater tubing, all weapons at the centre. I don't want to go cutting too much out, because a lot of this here is structural support for all the centre. It's a little bit flimsy already. It's not too bad. By the time it's bolted in, I think it'll be absolutely fine. Just need to make a mount here, because obviously this one got snapped off in the car, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know if we remembered it or not. I'll have to look through all the bits. Anyway, let's get it measured, weighed even, and let's see what we've managed to get to. A lot easier to pick up now, though, I'll tell you that. We have got a whopping 6.18. Lovely, so I'll just go through a mess here a minute. I was actually writing it all down. There we go, so we have lost. I can't do any maths. You guys are probably gonna have done the maths before I even got a calculator out. Not a huge amount, but that's something. That's absolutely fine with me. So, the original dash, the old Mark 5 one, I think is about the same weight, if I remember rightly. And that's got more in it, which is a bit of a shame, but then they say it's got more in it. Obviously because of the horrible old cage, I had to cut a lot of supports out for the actual front of it, so it's flimsy there and stuff. And obviously the Mark 5 doesn't have that kind of top piece of a dash. So let's just check some of the scales. It does feel heavier actually, maybe I'm wrong. 6.6. There we go. So I've saved a bit. Obviously this one's flocked, that one isn't, so it's going to be a little bit extra for flocking it, but by the time the cage is done and we've done these kind of cuts here, which should be a bit further back I hope, for the cage bars to go through. And as I said, I don't want to carbon sheet it. I can't quite see how I'm going to do it. Obviously with these pickup points here, it should sit pretty flat down to those two bits, which is all good and well, but that doesn't help this sort of strip here, so I still want to try and work out a way if I'm able to sort of incorporate that piece, maybe. Not 100% sure how it's going to work. We might even just keep the glove box, who knows. That might actually be very tricky, but I'd definitely be carbon sheeting that piece, and probably the cubby hole there, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm very happy with how much lighter this is now. I will try it in the car, let's have a quick look, see how it fits. I believe from what I've seen online, I did keep all the little pickup points, so these side bits here, which bolt the dash, are on both sides, and the sort of centerpiece. I did keep all that, however, we'll try it.
And there we go. The Mark 6 dash is now in.
It is very true what they say on the internet. All the mounting points are the same. So the dash is pretty solid in there. There's one thing I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy with, and it's just where I've cut so much out now. And the sliders have never been in this car. The old Mark 5 dash never had them. It does wobble about a little bit. So what I might do is this little sensor plug. I forget what this is for. I might read the part number one day and find out what that's for. But what I'll probably do is screw down through there, just have like a little bracket coming off the dash bar here. Just screw that down, just to sort of, not too tight, just to hold it firm, and it should take a lot of the vibration out hopefully, and then just pull the actual sensor out from in here so that this can still clip in over the top. And then you will never know it's under there. That's my plan. But that could be something to look at, maybe, I don't know. I mean, once the new cage bar's in, maybe that'll sort of hold it snug. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, all this really just to have nicer looking clocks. It's a bit excessive, but there we go. I much prefer it, it looks better, and like I say, hopefully the roll cage tube should come down just in front of it, and I'll be a much happier man. But it's getting on a bit. It's got very, very dark outside now. It doesn't look that dark from here, so that's me calling it for another evening. And I'll pick the camera up again probably in another couple of days, once I know what I'm doing. I have actually ordered the conversion link to do the 36 to 32 or 32 to 36, whichever way around it is. So hopefully that'll be here any day. So at least I can get that in and just at least turn on the ignition and see how it looks. Wait for it to throw up loads of errors at me. But yeah, that's it for another evening. And probably another episode. So thanks everyone for watching.
Appreciate everyone taking time. If you've got this far through, that's great. Thank you so much. Please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. It does help. We are only at low numbers, but you know, all exposure is good exposure. So there we go. That's another one. Pretty boring, not really a lot, but there you go. We're all up to speed again on the Golf, and hopefully I'll be picking this up a bit more and not corrupting footage. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much.